Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you to a very, very special episode of the Be Unbound podcast. Now, why is this episode so special, you might be asking? Well, first and foremost, it is the 50th episode of the Be Unbound podcast. It is hard to believe that we have put out 50 episodes of this. So first and foremost, a huge thank you to everyone who has been listening over the past year, the past 50 episodes that we've been putting this out, whether you have been listening and or watching since day one, or if you are just now joining us. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have a lot of fun making this, and we have a lot of really cool plans for the future of this podcast, so make sure that you stay tuned. So the second reason that this episode is very important, you might be noticing by the fact that if you're watching the video version of this podcast, I am wearing a suit. And that is not just because I like wearing suits, although I do. It is because this 50th episode of the podcast is going to be a trivia game showdown featuring everyone from the Unbound staff. So if you are new to the podcast, welcome. This is not exactly a typical podcast episode. This will be much more of a meet the team fun episode with a whole lot of inside jokes, but it won't exactly be the most informative if you are here looking for information about Unbound or about Ascend. If that is what you're looking for, we have tons of episodes about that. Specifically, just a couple episodes ago in number 48, we sat down with our director of content and coaching, Victoria Grant, and we went in depth about what the first 2 years of the Ascend program looks like. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. And if you're looking for any and all other information about what we do here at Unbound, especially with the Ascend program, make sure to visit our website, beunbound.us. So, without further ado, if you've decided that you want to stick around to see the absolute madness that is this game show, let's dive into it. Now, you might remember, if you are a long-time listener of the podcast, we've done a trivia podcast with the staff previously. We did it a few months back, but this one is going to be a little bit different. So, instead of trying to get everyone from the staff on one call at the same time, which is a scheduling nightmare, we have split it up into 3 different qualifying rounds and 1 championship round. So in the first 3 rounds, we'll be splitting the company up into 3 different divisions. So there will be the opposite admissions team, there will be the managers of all of the various teams and departments in the company, and we will have the media team. So each of these 3 departments, everyone within those departments will go head to head, and the winners of each of them will go to the championship round. Now, you'll hear from me again right before we get to the championship round. But in these first qualifying rounds, they will have a series of 1 versus 1 trivia questions, most of which are Unbound and or podcast related. And so I will ask the question, and whoever enters a chat message into the video call that we have going will get to answer the question first. And if they get it wrong, then it automatically goes to the other person, and they get to try to answer the question. Whoever gets the question correct first will move on, while the other is eliminated. Now, if neither one can get the question correct, then we will either go back and forth until someone gets it right, or we have backup questions, just in case we made them a little bit too hard. So, we will go through the teams, eliminating people as we go on, until for each one winner remains, and then we'll get to our championship round. But, without further ado, let's dive in and do some trivia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the round of trivia in this very special 50th episode of the podcast. I am joined by the division that we have here today is the Ops and Admissions teams. I am joined by Matthew Rocky, Olivia Jacks, Hannah Schwindel, and Sarah Lubin. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Doing well.
Excellent.
All right. Fantastic. Are you guys ready for some trivia? Fantastic. Yes, you absolutely have to. All right. So, this first round, we will be pitting Hannah versus Serica. Hannah, Serica, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, Your first question is, which state is home to the most Unbound students and alumni? I'll repeat again. Which state is home? Oh, I have an answer from Hannah. Hannah, what is your answer?
I'm going to guess Virginia.
Let's see here. We will accept that answer. As of 2018, Virginia is the answer. Technically, right before 2018, the answer would have been Texas.
Texas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, it's a 50-50 split. Yes. It's either Texas or Virginia.
Yeah, those two are really close. I actually thought that it would be Texas, but we made sure to fact check it. And as of 2018, Virginia overtook Texas. So, Hannah.
It's a very sad day.
Hannah, you are the winner of round 1. And so you will be advancing to round 3. But round 2 will be Matthew versus Olivia. Matthew, Olivia, are you guys ready?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
All right, fantastic. Your question is, what is the name of the venue where the very first Apex was held? Oh, Olivia, yeah, I see you have buzzed in. What is the answer?
Was it T-Bar M?
That is correct. T-Bar M Camp in New Braunfels, Texas was where the very first Apex was held. Yeah, man, you immediately had that one. You were on it.
Yeah, Olivia, may I ask how you know that answer so quickly?
I think I found it while looking up venues in Texas for the Spark event this past fall. And then I don't know where else I had seen it before, but the name kind of rung a bell, and I ended up doing a little more research and figuring that out.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I went there and I can't even remember the name.
That was impressive.
Oh, very much so. All right. So now we are down to the final round, which is going to be Olivia versus Hannah. Are you guys ready?
Sure.
I think so.
So much confidence. So much confidence. I'm loving it. All right. Your question is, which Unbound event featured live penguins? Olivia, you are the first to buzz in.
The event was Apex. Do we have to give the year?
You do have to specify the year, yes.
Darn. I am going to say 2015.
2015 is correct. Also would have accepted CP3 Apex, but yes, 2015 was the event where we had penguins.
Yeah. I knew the event name, but I wasn't sure about the year. I was like, is it 2015? Was it 2016? I know it was right before my time, but yeah. Nice.
Do we get the backstory on how that happened?
I would say all I heard from my sister was like that they had connections with an aquarium that was in the area. And so like the last day or the next last day, they were able to get in, I think it was 2 of them, 2 penguins to come in like during one of the sessions. And I just remember my family was like, Apex had penguins? Like what? That was what, we didn't know that or anything along those lines. But I'd love to hear a story from someone who was actually there because I've only heard retellings from other people.
Don't know. I wasn't there. I had just enrolled. I think, Serica, you might have been
I was there,
the
yeah.
only one that is in here that was actually there.
I know, I'm sure Camille has like the nitty gritty. I remember it had something to do with Aubrey, and they were surprising Aubrey with penguins. Now, you'll have to ask Megan because I don't remember the whole backstory, but they brought him in to surprise Aubrey, and it was very much a surprise. Her face was really well worth it. SeaWorld brought them in, and we got to see them waddle down. But yeah, I don't know the whole backstory.
If I recall correctly, I've heard this from retellings and a little bit from when I was there. It was that there was like one of the videos on the channel that she did where it was like just a more open Q&A. Somebody asked something about some question about penguins. I don't remember specifically what it was. I'm sure that somebody else will remember who's watching. But yeah, there was some question about penguins, and Aubrey just like took it in stride and tried to give this like very detailed explanation as if she were an expert on penguins. And then I'm pretty sure that the person who actually came up, who handled the penguins, came up and said, "Yeah, so I heard that you said this about penguins,
Yes,
and I need to come up and address that because that's totally incorrect."
Yeah,
It was good.
that's basically what I heard.
It was very good,
about it.
very memorable. All right. Well, reminiscing aside, Olivia, congratulations. You have won this division's trivia game, and so you will be advancing on to the final round where you will face off against the winners from the media team and the managers. So I will catch you later for that.
Thank you. I'm excited.
You got this.
Represent our department well.
I will represent our department well, or at least I'll try to.
Can I ask
Fantastic.
what
All right.
each of you does as part of the operations and admissions teams? I guess starting with, we can do Serica, and then Hannah, Olivia, then Matthew.
Sure. I only recently joined the team, and my job includes calling and emailing people who have expressed interest in learning more about Unbound and or Ascend.
Awesome.
I work with advising and such. So when we have an Ascend student come in, I do a lot of the research for their target college and degree or research outside of it. And then I also serve as liaison between the forums and CDC and cabinet with the Unbound staff.
Nice.
And then I joined the team about a year ago, first as Megan's intern and now as operations specialist, which is basically just a fancy title for Megan's intern. She's in charge of all of the operations logistic stuff for events and behind the scenes business. And so she kind of gives me the, here's what needs to get done, and I help get it done. So that's my role.
Yeah, and so I joined the team back in December, originally doing what Serica is doing now. But back in April, I started to transition more into more hands-on. So I'm going to conventions, representing Unbound. I'm trying to create partnerships with homeschool groups, schools, just kind of continue to build the brand name and create partnerships with prospective students.
I'm glad that you guys do what you do, because it
Awesome.
means that I can just make stuff and then you can find people and talk to people and I just get to make more stuff.
You're really good at that.
Yeah. Oh, so very, very much appreciate everything that all of you guys do. You might not necessarily be, Matthew gets up and speaks at conventions quite a lot, so he's one of the upfront people. But a lot of what you guys do is very behind the scenes stuff, but it is absolutely crucial to what Unbound is able to do and accomplish. And whether they know it or not, probably a significant number of the students that are in the program can accredit either being there in the first place or having the great experience that they have by large part to what you guys do. So very much appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, and thank you guys so much for coming by and playing this little trivia game. And for pretty much all of you, we'll see you around. And thanks for playing. Olivia, I will see you in the final round.
See you then. Thanks again for hosting.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for round 2 with the managers of Unbound. Very excited to have all of you guys on. So, our participants this time are Jonathan Brush, Megan Hyatt, Ellie Smith, Victoria Grant, and Jace Bauer. So, in that order, do you guys just want to go down and introduce yourselves and a little bit of what you do for Unbound?
Well, my name's Jonathan Brush. I'm the president and CEO of Unbound. I'm the chief ringable neck.
My name is Megan Hyatt. I'm the COO, and I do all the operational and events related tasks at the company.
My name is Ellie Smith, and I'm the director of admissions, and I enroll all of our new students.
My name is Victoria Grant. I handle our content and coaching departments, and then Ellie and I tag team to make sure everyone has enough coffee to go around.
I'm Jace Bauer. I'm Unbound's marketing coordinator, and my job is to make sure that people are aware of all the awesome things that we do.
All right, fantastic. And now it is my turn and Camille's turn to see how much you guys know about all the awesome things that we do and have done in the past. Are you guys ready for some trivia?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go.
Do it.
All right, fantastic. Well, first round, we will be pitting Jonathan versus Victoria. Jonathan, Victoria, are you guys ready?
We're ready. I'm ready. I don't know about Victoria. I'm ready.
All right, fantastic. Your question is, where and at what time of the day was the very first Yo Abe filmed? I'll repeat the question. Where and at what time of the day was the first Yo Abe filmed? All right, Jonathan, you're the first.
I'm totally guessing, so I'm going to say early in the morning in New York City.
That is not correct. So, Victoria, you do get to take a shot at this.
I feel like Abe submitted this question, and I feel like it's not fair. Clearly, we need to do a staff movie night, go back through all of the old videos. I'm going to say night, and let's take a shot in the dark, no pun intended, and say San Antonio.
I'm afraid that is incorrect. So,
sorry,
Jonathan,
Abe, we just didn't pay attention to those early videos. Why don't you ask those questions about the Navigate videos, David? We know a lot about that. Victoria and I can tell you anything about Navigate videos that happened in the last, say, week. So
that's true.
Jonathan, do you want to take another guess? It's back to you.
No, I want the second question.
Yeah, we can move on to the second question.
Correct.
Well, say that again,
so
I said we can tell you that half of your answer was correct.
Oh, late at night, New York City. Late at night, New York City.
Unfortunately, the wrong half was the part that you thought was correct.
Oh, early in the morning, Chicago.
That is incorrect. Victoria, I will give you one final shot, and then we will move to the backup questions.
I'm trying to think when Abe started making videos, and I felt like it was around when he was working at headquarters. So, but Kamel did not say that half of my answer was right, which makes me second guess San Antonio. So, I'll steal Jonathan's early morning. And
you're welcome.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Take one for the team. So if it's not San Antonio, do we get is there a phone a friend option or?
Yeah, can we ask Abe?
I'm afraid not. No.
Where else would Abe have been?
Should have asked Jared last night.
Do we get more specific? Can I say early morning in New Braunfels?
Don't think so.
David is wincing, so I'm thinking that's not right.
No.
Well, we're off to a roaring start, Victoria. Obviously, stuff.
I'm wondering, can I start watching YouTube videos in the background here?
That would definitely be cheating. So, all right, we will move on to the backup question. That's why we have those. But I'll open it up to the rest of you guys. Do any of you happen to have this answer, just out of curiosity?
I don't, but I'm guessing it was at Apex. That's my best guess.
Okay.
Oh, why did I think of that?
Well, unfortunately, pretty much every guess was pretty far off. I mean, the time was spot on because we know Abe, and it was at 2 a.m. in Taipei, Taiwan.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, geographically, I'm probably closer. I mean, New York City is closer.
I mean.
Oh, all right.
All right, now we're warmed up though.
Yes, you're warmed up. So, backup question, Jonathan and Victoria. In what year and state was a hydrogen bomb accidentally dropped in the USA?
What?
The backup questions have nothing to do with Unbound.
They have to do with the Unbound
So
podcast.
not warmed
So
up.
do you listen to the podcast?
Oh,
We're all
I
there.
remember this. Stupid. This is another dumb trivia thing.
I was like, this.
Nope.
This felt like a Ben Phillips
No one has
question.
buzzed in yet, so I
What
will
year
run through the
and what
question again.
state?
In what year and what state was a hydrogen bomb accidentally dropped on the USA?
I'm thinking, like, would it have been during testing?
Oh, I remember this now.
Oh, all right. This is why we have the chat box, because I saw two messages pop up, but Victoria, you beat him by just a hair.
Yeah, but he was more confident about his answer, so I feel like he's gonna take this one.
You know what, Victoria, you get first crack at it. So, Victoria,
I'm taking a history shot in the dark and saying 45 in New Mexico.
Okay, all right. Jonathan, we'll go ahead and get your answer, and we'll go with whoever's closest.
61, North Carolina.
Ooh, well, Jonathan, you nailed it. So you get this round. It was, in fact, 1961, North Carolina.
I'm with Victoria. I try to see how this has a whole lot to do with Unbound, but I do remember a very difficult podcast. We didn't know any trivia answers, which seemed a lot like this one. So apparently, if you're going to come to Unbound, you're going to learn things that are not trivial, because Victoria and I don't have time for trivial information in our brains. So just want to make that clarification.
I appreciate that. I second what
last
Jonathan
year-
said.
Last year, somebody also said New Mexico. It might have been you. So you are kind of remembering the podcast episode.
Okay. I'm not sure that's a compliment, though. That might just be an embarrassment. Like, wow, she gets it wrong 2 years in a row.
No.
All right. Well, so Jonathan, you will be moving on to round 3. For round 2, we have Ellie versus Jace. Are you guys ready?
Watch, Victoria. We're going to know all the answers to these questions.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Let's do it.
All right. So, Ellie and Jace, your question is, what did the E3 stand for in the 2015 CPE3 Apex?
Told you, Victoria.
That's not
Jace,
fair.
you buzzed in first.
The 3 E's in CP3 stood for engage, equip, and empower.
And that is correct.
That's an Unbound trivia question.
It's got nothing to do with hydrogen bombs and nothing to do with Taiwan.
Nope. I still have the shirt for that one, by the way.
That's right. Me too.
Alrighty. Well, congratulations, Jace. And so now, Jace, it is you and Jonathan for round 3. Are you guys
Come
ready?
on, Apex Trivia.
All right. What was the name of the not sponsored drink that was featured in the Derby promo? Ooh, Jace, you got in first.
Was it Bang Energy?
Bang is correct. Yes.
For the record, I knew that, but good job on the clicker, Jace.
Good job on knowing it, Jonathan.
All right, but you just gotta
trying to
be
redeem
you gotta be
myself
quick
after
on the
that first
buzzer.
round. So,
Oh, all right. So for the final round here, we will have Jace versus Megan. Are you guys ready? All right. So your question is, in which year did a student break curfew at Apex, and what was their punishment?
Oh.
Megan,
I know that
even
one
before I
too.
finished asking the question,
Perry broke curfew in 2016
Nope.
at the
No.
Apex
Nope.
in Maryland. Oh, you're talking
Not
about
it.
Christian.
Not it.
Dang
Oh, you
it.
gave it away.
Dang it. Have at it, Jace. It's all you.
So Christian broke curfew at Apex in 2015, and he had to do burpees in front of everyone else as a punishment. I don't remember how many.
John
I don't know if we're going to get that technical, but
That is
You have to get the exact
correct. Yes.
I think it was
it
how
was
many you could
20.
get in a minute. Wasn't it how many you could get in a minute?
I don't know. I just remember there was somebody else who
It's whoever could do more.
Well, I think it was James Glenn made him do it. And to clarify things, by break curfew, it was like 5 minutes because he was helping the cabinet or something like that. Like it was a total scam the whole way through. So.
I don't know about that.
All right. Well, Jace, congratulations. You have won in your division for trivia. So you will be moving on to the winners round. You will be facing off against Olivia and whoever wins from the media team. So we'll
Wish me luck.
see you back here for
Good
that.
job, Jace.
Good job, Jace.
Very well done.
All right. Well, and everyone else, thank you very much for coming by and participating. This was very entertaining. Yeah, so we will see you guys around, and Jace, I'll see you in the final round. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the media team for this edition, this round of trivia. So, representing the media team, I have 4 very special guests. I have Michael, Jonathan, Abe, and Tama. So, if you guys want to go ahead and, in that order, introduce yourselves and what you do for Unbound.
Hi, I'm Michael. I am the podcast producer and am the poor soul that gets to edit all of this wonderful goodness.
For which we are very grateful.
Yes.
All right. My name is Jonathan. I'm actually probably one of the newest additions to the team. So I'm actually a intern under Abraham as a video editor, and I also a little bit of some producing as well in there.
What is up, fam? This is Abraham Chen. I've said before, but my job is to help make everyone look good. And so my role is helping oversee the media team, producing all the different content that you see online. And I'm very blessed to be working with every single person here.
Hello, my name is Tama Phillips, and I am assistant videographer, editor, whatever. I don't even know what to call myself. But yeah, I do some of the editing and some of the filming and just whatever needs to be done.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Well, appreciate all of you guys and all the hard work that you do, and appreciate you guys being here for trivia. Are you guys ready?
Let's go.
All right. So, first round for this team is going to be Michael versus Tama. Michael and Tama, are you guys ready?
Heck yeah.
Ready?
All right. Your question is, in no particular order, what states in the USA currently have the highest number of engaged unbounders? I will repeat the question. In no particular order, what states in the USA currently have the most number of engaged unbounders? Let's see here. Michael, I believe that you have buzzed in.
So I'm throwing a bone, but you gotta throw the bone in these shows. So I'm guessing like Virginia, because everyone's in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a list of how many, or it's just in no particular order?
We'll go with 3. I'll just tell you now. We'll go with the top 3.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know if Texas is in play anymore. I haven't heard of Texans in a long time. For all those Texans who do exist, I'm sorry, but it was a much bigger deal. All right, so I'm going to do Virginia, Colorado, and where's the third state? We'll throw in Texas. I'm backpedaling on Texas. I know it's not right.
All right.
But you know what? It's the only third state I can think of.
Well, your answer being Virginia, Colorado, and Texas. That is spot on.
Wow.
That is 100% correct.
Wow.
I was just thinking that I only know like people who were engaged and now are married. So I'm like thinking of all the people. I'm like, wait, that doesn't count anymore.
Whoa. Like engagements as in people getting engaged and then getting married, or engagement, period. Of like
yeah. See, I kind of wondered that. I only just now reread the question. Kamel dropped out, and I think is just coming back in. Kamel, can we get a little clarification on this question? When it says most number of engaged Unbounders, does that mean active in the community or preparing to be married?
I guess, with the Unbound community, you might have to specify on that one. I meant most active.
You do. Okay. That's how I think the question was answered. That's how I think we took it. But just
that's funny.
Tamara just threw it out there.
Yeah, I totally would not have answered it that way. I would have been like, who's engaged at the moment? I don't know.
Yeah, because I can think of a couple
they keep
people
coming,
that
huh?
have recently gotten married, but yeah. All right. Well, congratulations, Michael, for winning that round. You'll move on to round 3. But next, we have Abe versus Jonathan. Are you guys ready?
I mean,
let's do this.
Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be.
All right, fantastic. So, your question is, what were the 3 topics discussed at Base Camp 2021? I'll repeat the question. What were the 3 topics discussed at Base Camp 2021? The suspense
Pamela
is killing
looks
us.
very excited. I'm assuming that means she knows the answer if this had been her question.
I almost feel like this is loaded.
You guys were both there, right? You can do this.
Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna be like some. Oh my goodness!
It's what you think it is.
It's still anybody's game as far as buzzing in. I'm just
gonna buzz one. Is one of them navigate? Dare I say it?
So
okay,
Jonathan, you get the first crack at the answer. So 3 topics.
So I went ahead and said, hold on. It's all coming. It's trying to come back here. Dare I say this? I'm just going to say time management. That's just one of them. I don't know the other 2 right now. I'm just going to throw that out there. Is that one of the 3?
I will neither confirm nor deny this because I'm going to have to say that you need to get.
I do need all 3. Okay, I get you.
Yep, that's what I'm going to go with.
All right,
and that way I don't give anything away to Abe if you don't get it fully correct.
Yo, so I'm like, where's Victoria's shirt when I need it? I was going to say community purpose action, but I'm like, wait, that's an Apex thing. So no.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's Apex.
Yo, I'm getting all
Base Camp.
I know. I'm getting all the lines mixed up. All right, so community was definitely one of them, right? And then I'm pretty sure that one is community, one is one was preparation, I think. And then the other, I'm such a ground bounder. I was busy with other stuff and I wasn't paying attention. So,
okay. Well, I will go ahead and tell you guys.
Let's see who's closer.
That neither of you are correct.
Wow.
So, yeah, I tell you what, I think I'll go ahead and give each of you another crack at it in order, and I will tell you that, let's see here, time was one of the answers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Jonathan, that gives you a starting point.
Oh, I know what it is.
So, if
now.
you can get the other two, it sounds like Abe knows. So, Jonathan, if you can get it,
yeah. Are we letting Jonathan go first?
yes.
All right.
So much concentration.
Because I can remember the three speakers discussing the three different topics, and I know who discussed each topic.
Who discussed them? Actually, maybe don't say
I know
that.
we had our three speakers. We had majorly we had Jonathan, we had Megan, and we also had Ben. Megan was discussing time management. Ben was discussing, I think Jonathan was discussing the purpose, I think, of the entire thing. I think Ben was discussing oh my goodness, what is it called? The background. No, it's not what it's called. The technical side of things. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Ben was discussing the technical side and how things, he basically is like how you get something to work, just assembling the idea and getting it to come together. And then Megan was deciding how to manage all that. That's super rough. I can't remember the exact, I can't remember the exact names. I mean, Abe may be able to get a little bit closer with that, but I'm sorry. That's how my mind could do right now.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and let Abe take a crack at it.
All right, if I can get my mic unmuted. All right, so was it come on. I think it was time. Victoria was talking about vision, was it? Dang it, why am I blanking on this?
You sounded so confident a minute ago.
I know. I'm like digging up all the previous videos. I'm pretty sure it was something along with like opportunity, but I'm not thinking of the word and vision. I'm doing horribly. Should I just give up?
I'm afraid.
Well, I know. Hey, I will say, base camp. One of the things that Mr. Graham talked about was not giving up. So resilience. Okay, there's that, but I know it's not one of them.
Well, both of you have been quite resilient in attempting to answer this question, but I don't think that I'm going to give it to either of you for this.
Fair.
Let's see here. Michael, Tama, do either of you know the answer to this question? I'll just ask before I reveal the answer.
It's time, task, and relationships.
Hey, good job.
That is correct.
And I wasn't even there.
Tama's the one who helps me remember all the topics. So.
No, well, the reason I remember is Jonathan was talking it in the last talk that ended up being the podcast, and that was one of our most viewed podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there we go.
It's all about the podcast. You got to listen to the podcast so you're in the know. I got to promote this thing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Right. That's right. So, Jonathan, Abe, we're going with a backup question. Are you ready?
Sure thing.
All right. In what year was eBay launched? Closest answer wins. All right. Abe, you get to take first crack at it.
2007.
All right. Jonathan, what's your guess?
She was going to say 2006.
All right. So the thing is that the year that eBay was launched was 1995.
Whoa.
And so Jonathan, by guessing 1 year earlier.
Oh, maybe YouTube was 2007.
No, YouTube was 05.
Yes, 2005.
Yeah. YouTube is 05. I felt I was reading about this stuff. Huh.
Man, I didn't realize I was that old.
Well, eBay is older than most of us here.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But, hey, Jonathan, by guessing eBay. 1 year earlier. Jonathan, by guessing 1 year earlier, you get to move on to the next round. All right.
Okay, Abe, your soul was just sold on eBay.
All right. So Michael versus Jonathan. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Yeah, Perdoodle.
Maybe.
All right. So, how many followers does Unbound have on Instagram?
Exactly.
Closest number will win. How many followers does it have on Instagram? Michael, you're first to buzz in. What's your guess?
Shoot. So, no. I have a range, and I have to pick a number because, like, I have a range. I'm gonna say 600.
Okay.
It's
Jonathan.
my final answer.
I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm just gonna say 1,000 or more.
Okay.
For the
right.
audio
And
listeners,
so-
Kama is making a face.
Well, because there's Instagram and then there's Facebook, and I think there's like 1,200 in the Facebook group.
Okay, good point.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's the Facebook group and the Facebook page.
That is true. We're talking about the Instagram page here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is
The
correct.
main official
And-
Instagram page.
And so on the official Instagram page, the number of followers, at least as of the submitting of the question, is 1,385.
Oh, dang. Oh, that was way off. Ouch.
All right. And so...
You have little faith, Michael.
Jonathan, actually, by being the closest, by guessing more, you are actually the winner.
Congrats, bro.
That should not even be the case at all. I've only been with you all for like what? Not even a year.
I'm going off of oldie numbers. Like,
Yeah.
Michael's time has passed. Okay.
ouch, ouch. Ooh, where's the boot to kick me out the door? Oh.
You are the one who said the word oldie here.
I do find it a little bit funny that both of the questions that Jonathan has gotten, it's been by getting over-unders correct. That has been very entertaining to me. But hey, you know what? That's how the game goes. And congratulations, Jonathan, because you're going to be sticking around here, and we are going to be having the final round starting up here shortly. You are going to be going against Jace and Olivia. So congratulations to you, good sir, and to everyone else on the media team. Thank you so much for coming and playing trivia, and for all the hard work that you guys do.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
This was awesome.
All right. Fantastic. Well, I will catch you guys around very soon. And Jonathan, get ready for the final round.
All right.
And so we are down to the final three for the championship round. We will have Olivia versus Jace versus Jonathan. And we will have to see who comes out on top as the winner of this trivia game showdown. Now, for this last final championship round, it's going to be pretty similar to the others, but just a little bit different. So each contestant is going to go up against each other contestant at least once in a 1 versus 1 question. Now, if they get the question right, that counts as a point for them. And if they don't get it right, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are eliminated, because they have to go against the other contestant that they haven't gone against yet. So, whoever ends up with the most points at the end of all of the questions wins. Now, this just a heads up before we get into this final round. This one is probably going to be a bit more heavily edited than most, and that's mostly on me in this case, because things did not go exactly as planned. I'd nearly run out of questions, and we unfortunately kept having rounds where neither participant was able to get a viable, correct answer, and we didn't want to try to cheat anybody out of a win or anything like that. So, we had to do a little bit of on-the-fly restructuring of things, especially towards the end, and it resulted in, well, you know what? Instead of attempting to describe it, I'm just going to say that you do not want to miss how this turns out. So without further ado, let's get into the finals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is all down to this. We have here the finalists for our trivia for this 50th episode. We have Olivia from Ops, we have Jace from the Managers, and we have Jonathan from Media, each of whom are representing their various departments and will be competing to see who will be winning this contest for the Unbound trivia game. Are all of you guys ready?
Ready.
All right.
All right. So, from the audience, just to review how this will work is that since there isn't necessarily a bracket for these three, each of them will go head to head against each other, and whoever comes out with the most questions answered correctly, so we should have a winner once someone has answered 2 questions correctly, that will be the winner. So, first up, we have Olivia versus Jonathan. Are you guys ready?
All right. Yep. Let's do this.
All right. Your question is, when in month and year and where, was the first official Unbound student gathering held? So we're looking for a month, a year, and a general geographical location for the very first official Unbound student gathering.
Well, someone has to.
All right.
I'll take a shot.
Olivia, what is your guess?
All right. My guess is that it was Texas in February 2013. And that could be totally wrong.
Okay. Jonathan, I'm going to let you take a crack at it, and we'll see who gets closer.
All right. Let's see. Well, Olivia happens to know a lot about the history, so I'm also going to go ahead and go with Texas. But I'm going to go ahead and say April of 2013.
All right. And Olivia, what was the month that you went with?
I went with February.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, you are technically closer because the gathering was held in 2013 in Texas in November. Was the correct answer there.
Good night.
Oh, my goodness.
First gathering.
So I'm curious.
In the spring.
I think, Jonathan, you probably went a little bit based off of Olivia's answer. Olivia, were you around in the Unbound community at that point, or?
I was definitely not around in the Unbound community. From what I've heard stories, I was guessing either closer to the beginning of the year or the end of the year, just due to certain things I'd heard. But I wasn't sure whether it was towards the beginning or towards the end. So good job, Jonathan.
Yeah, it was a pretty random, to a degree. I was actually originally going to say Virginia because that's where everybody's at now. But she said Texas, and I'm like, well, if Olivia said it's Texas, I got to take Olivia's word for it. So I got to refigure out my answer. So.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. Well, next up, we will have Olivia versus Jace. Are you two ready?
I hope so.
I think so.
All right. So your question is, who were the 4 speakers at Apex 2018? Who were the 4 keynote speakers at Apex 2018? All right, Jace, you're the first to buzz in.
Mike Ritland was one. So Dewey Novotny. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let Olivia take a swing at it. I thought I could get them all, but I'm drawing a blank.
All right, Olivia.
All right, give me just a second. I have a little background noise. I'm going to guess that it was Mike Ritland, Dewey Novotny, and then Jaquel and Sean Crow.
That is correct. You got it. Yeah. I guess technically we could have grouped Sean and Jaquel in together, since they kind of spoke together the entire time. But they're two separate people, so we figured the number might throw you off just a little bit. But yes, that
trying
is
to remember
correct.
who gave the commencement at the graduation that year. I can't remember.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Because that was the year that I walked, and I don't even remember, I'll be honest.
Maybe it was Colonel Mike Bell. I don't remember if he was 2018 or if he was a year before.
No, it wasn't Colonel Bell. Yeah, I can't remember. It was someone different. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out later. But anyway.
Good job, Olivia.
So, Olivia,
Thank
you
you.
get that one. And so finally, we have Jonathan versus Jace. So, are you two ready to go?
All right.
So, your question is, so far, how many Be Unbound podcast episodes have been released in 2021? So this year, 2021, how many episodes of the Be Unbound podcast have been released?
Am I allowed to ask when it started?
We pretty much, the podcast pretty much launched with the company, as far as I recall. So,
all right, that's good.
But this is specifically this year, how many podcast episodes have been released? Jace, you're the first to buzz in.
I don't know exactly, but this is my educated guess, or maybe not so educated guess. I'm going to guess, I'll guess 20.
Okay. And this is closest answer wins. So, Jonathan, what is your guess?
I'm going to say 25.
Okay. Well, so here's the fun part is that both of you were pretty much like equally off. Jace was just a bit lower. Jonathan was just a bit higher. So I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and go to a backup question because I think the answer was 23. Yeah. So that was so close that technically you could give it to Jonathan there, but I'm going to go ahead and go to a backup question because both of you were very close on that one. So
I'm good with that.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's see here. All right. This is a fun backup question. So if someone is an EGOT recipient, what awards have they won? So if someone is the recipient of an EGOT, what have they won?
Is it okay to ask how you spell EGOT?
EGOT. Anyone's game so far? No one's buzzed in?
Are you guys hovering over particular ideas, or do you just have no idea?
I have no idea.
All right. So neither of you are coming forward with an answer. And since this is one where one person giving it might clue the other one in on the answer, what I'm going to have you guys do, I'm going to pull an audible here, is I'm going to have both of you Slack message me your best guess. Does that sound good?
I mean, I suppose I can do that. I just got to find you on Slack.
I don't think my best guess is going to be anywhere near what it actually is, but I can give it my best shot.
All right, go for it. So we'll repeat the question one more time. Let's see here. If someone is an EGOT recipient, what awards have they won? Okay. Jace, there's your answer. And Jonathan, have you managed to find me on Slack? There you go. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so both of you, neither of you were particularly super close. So we will go ahead and go to another backup question. I will tell you, Jace's was further off. Jace was very much thinking that this was going to be an Unbound answer. I maybe could have clarified that this was not a. This was more of a podcast reference and not an Unbound thing. An EGOT is someone who has won all 4 Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony awards.
Oh,
so
we're actually kind of close.
You were on the right track, but you weren't quite close enough that I was willing to give it to you. So
no, I get you. That was a random guess.
All right, we'll get another backup question for you. So, what does M&M stand for? Jonathan, you're first to buzz in.
I just realized that I thought I knew what the answer to this was, but I don't know. If Jace wants to take this one first, he can. I'm going to give you a second to think about this.
No, it's fine. I'll give you a second to think about it and guess. And then...
He's got the strategy.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about this on the other trivia episode that we did a while back, but I can't remember.
Do you want to go ahead and pass to Jace?
I'll pass it to Jace. I want to see what he says.
All right.
I know it's 2 names. I can't think of them. The one that keeps coming to mind is Michael and Michael, but I know that's not
right. Oh, okay. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you now that it is Mars and Murray was the correct answer.
I knew one of them was Mars. Oh, I should have said that. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know the other one.
Oh, all right. Let's see here. Oh boy, I'm glad that we have plenty of backup questions here. This is fun. All right. I'm gonna go. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to pick one that you might have a better chance of getting.
Maybe
all right.
The first one.
Here we go. The Statue of Liberty was gifted to the USA by which country and for what reason?
He just... All right, Jace. I'll let you do it because you tapped in first.
Yep.
Well, France gifted the Statue of Liberty to the United States. And I think it was because they didn't want it anymore. Like it had been made and they weren't a fan, so they were like, oh, let's just give this to the United States.
Okay. All right. I will hear an answer from Jonathan.
Okay.
Basically, yes, it was given to them by France, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't because they didn't want it. I'm pretty sure it was a gift. I'm trying to remember what it was for, but I have the feeling it was for something with their independence. But I do know that it was a gift to the United States.
Oh, well, both of you are correct in that it was France, but I don't think either of you are, again, close enough for me to count it. Because
really?
The reason was it was to commemorate their alliance during the Revolution. Oh my goodness. All right.
So close. Man, Olivia's just having a fun time here. She's like, man, these 2 guys go back and forth trying to answer questions here.
I know. If I hadn't made it to the final round, I was going to come and watch anyway. But I'm getting both experiences.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you know the answer
let's
to
see
any of
here.
these
I
questions?
think. Let's see here. Yeah. You get. Let's see here. I can't use that question because we talked about that after Jace's round. Let's see here.
What about the first one in the final 3? Or the
I tell you what. I'm going to call another audible, and I am going to use. I'm going to use a question from the round that Olivia was in, and we'll see if either of you can get this.
I will not give it away.
So, what is the name of the venue where the very first Apex was held?
Oh, you can't use that one. You can't use that one. You can't use that one.
I actually submitted that question. So
Oh, shoot, you did. Okay. All right. Darn it. There was literally a 1 in 20-something chance, so I figured I was safe, but okay. Well, never mind. All right. Oh, my goodness. I just can't find one that will work here. Okay. All right. Shoot. I'm trying to find one that might be like a little bit more Unbound related that I can throw in for you guys, because pretty much all of like the backup questions are more like podcast reference things. Okay. You know what? I think that this is one. No, we used that. Okay. Shoot. All right. Yeah, we'll go with this one. We'll go with this one. This is a podcast reference. I'll preface this now. Raisins are to grapes as prunes are to what? Oh, it isn't a podcast one? Oh, unfortunate. But okay, well. Jace, I thought we talked about this on the podcast once, but I could be wrong. Jace, you're the first to buzz in.
Plums, that's my guess.
And that is correct. All right. We finally found a question that we were able to manage to get a final answer for. All right. Fantastic. So let's see here. I think, so the point count is, so for the first round, Jonathan got round 1, and then was it Jace or Olivia that got round 2?
I think Olivia got it.
Olivia got
it. Olivia got round 2 and Jace got round 3. So it's a 3-way tie. Kamel, I don't know if we prepared for this. We were not prepared for this outcome.
Yes.
Let's see here. I think she dropped out of the call. Do we have a contingency for this? I don't remember talking about it.
Well, maybe what we can do is, David, you can find one more, or maybe you can make one up and give it to all 3 of us. And just want to take all. And if none of us can get it, then maybe you win, David. I don't know.
David always wins.
Ooh. Okay. You know what? I have the perfect question for this. Right. I have a perfect question. So this will be open to all 3 of you. I won't necessarily get a buzzer in for this one. So I'll just have this open, and each of you can just answer this. And that question is, you will notice that the host is only visible, the top half of the host is the only part of the host visible as of right now. What type of pants am I wearing? Because you don't know. I could be wearing any type of pants.
Now, just to clarify, you just said you're wearing pants. Is that correct?
Good catch. It's not necessarily limited to full length, just any sort of lower body.
So
wear.
It's a lower half piece of clothing then.
Yes, shorts. Okay. A type of shorts could qualify.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So do we just give you our answer?
Just throw out a guess.
I'll guess that you're wearing
Kamel has submitted a guess.
Shorts. No.
Okay. All right.
I think my guess would be pajama pants because
it
is 8:30 a.m. your time, and that sounds really
yes it is. I had to wake up at about 6 o'clock this morning. So, all right.
Jace, what did you say?
Jonathan, what's your guess?
Like basketball shorts or something.
Okay. Stink. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm just gonna say sports shorts.
All right. Well, so here's the thing, is that I'm going to give it to Jace because he's the first one to guess that I was in fact wearing basketball shorts. And he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it on the first guess.
I was going to say, how hot is it where you are in Missouri?
It's 90 degrees, so it's really warm. In the full suit jacket and with a light on, I am very warm. So
I can imagine.
I was gonna say I kind of have the same thought process as Olivia. I was like, you're up early, but then I was like, probably not wearing like full length pajama pants if it's hot. So
yeah, probably.
I think every one of us was on the right track there.
You were. I love how none of you had the confidence in me to think that I would go all in for the outfit. I could have worn, dress slacks and completely thrown you all off. But apparently you all know me well enough to know that I didn't quite fully commit. But they match. They're the same shade of blue as the tie in the square.
See, I think if you had worn slacks and we'd all gotten it wrong, I think we should have just automatically given you the win, since A, you got none of us got the answer right, and B, you actually dressed up in a full suit at 6 a.m. to the podcast. So that's a win in our book.
Oh, that could have been fun. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and congratulate Jace for winning the 50th episode trivia bracket. Congratulations, Jace, for making it all the way through, making it through some very, very silly questions. And getting the win. So congratulations to everyone for making it here, and thank you guys very much for playing, and thanks to everyone who has stuck around through this absolutely very, very unique, very absurd episode of the podcast. We appreciate you guys hanging out and watching and listening. And this is not our necessarily usual thing. So we will be coming back to more of the content that you're used to in the coming weeks. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next time. And so that concludes our 50th episode trivia game showdown. And what an episode that was. There's no other word to describe it. It was a ton of fun. Absolutely. So first of all, congrats to Jace for winning the whole thing. And before we head out here, a few very special thank yous. First, to the entire staff, to everyone who participated. Thank you so much for coming on here, for making time in your busy schedules to have fun and to get on this podcast and compete. And thank you for everything that you do to make Unbound happen. Every person that you saw in this podcast here, it plays an absolutely crucial role in making all the things that we do here at Unbound happen. So massive shout out to everybody who participated. And a couple of specific ones. First to Kamel, thank you so much. She did a lot of the organization and setup and prep for this episode specifically, including the questions and coming on and being a game master for this. So thank you so much to her. And probably the biggest shout out, no question, is to Michael, who is the producer for the podcast and especially for this episode. To give you guys a reference, most podcast episodes only have 2 to 4 video clips that are about half an hour. This one has close to 40, which is absolutely insane. So the fact that you are listening and or watching this episode is due to an absolutely massive amount of work from Michael. So huge shout out to him. And finally, last but not least, to everyone who is here listening and watching, thank you once again so much for sticking around and supporting us in what we're doing. We have a lot more of great content planned coming down the pipe soon. And if you're wanting to look for more of that right now or in the future, the best place to get that is on our website. That is beunbound.us. So once again, thanks for sticking around, and we hope to see you again soon.